Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the second episode of the second season of Yakusoku no Neverland. And last episode, we continued where we left off with the first season, which was, of course, escaping the orphanage/farm. And we are still nowhere near, like, a safe location. Like, it wasn't like we could just walk out the door, the walls of the orphanage, and suddenly we're, like, comfy at some kind of human resistance camp, right? We got a long ways to go, a lot of like unfamiliar territory to trek through, so we can eventually find somebody to help us, right? Like I keep imagining them just like meeting up with some kind of human resistance organization that's like, hey, welcome to the club. This is Billy. That's John. That's Frederica. Well, welcome. You know, here's your new membership badges and your complimentary toaster. Like that's kind of how I imagine that going. But we haven't got to that point yet. We did meet a couple people though, but they kind of turned out to be like demons, so that's a little bit awkward. We don't know much about them at all, but I have to imagine they're very much like ostracized from like main demon culture, but it's hard to even say that because we know so little about the demon culture. But hopefully these two can be kind of like a key for us as the audience and them to become more familiar with that, right? Because there's so much we don't know. Anything they can tell us would probably be useful, so yeah, I'm really interested to see where that goes. Let's jump on in because we ended off with, yeah, Emma and Ray being with them, so let's see what they have to tell us, and, you know, maybe they'll explain why they helped us and what they expect to get out of it, and just their life story, basically. So let's jump in. 3, 2, 1, play. I'm clicking on all the wrong things. Bum, 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 bum. Anime opening. Okay. The Promised Neverland. Hopefully that promise is not broken. Yeah, rabbits for dinner. What more could you ask for? Yeah, seriously a food theme going on, which makes sense because that's essentially how the antagonists view the protagonists of this story. I definitely missed the first opening. Like, I'm not saying this is bad, but I missed the first opening. Okay, so would you guys like to explain to us that? Thank you. Are you just buttering us up so you can eat us later? I I don't I don't think like they're gonna kill us or anything. At least not right away. But Mujika. That's a good point. You don't want them touching our weapons. I mean, Ray always looks like that. I don't know how far you're gonna get. Given instructions to help them escape. Are you saying you're not? You not identify as a demon anymore? Hey, yeah, everyone's here. Yeah, safe and sound. But yeah, not escaping, just reuniting with the others. Then what do you intend? What do you eat then? Rabbits, perhaps? That is an interesting animal. Yeah, they really don't seem at all hostile. Okay, then. That's a big thing, too. That's the biggest thing. I still want questions answered, though. Those claws. Okay. A little bit delayed, but... Do you like the food, Ray? Don't sound too excited, Emma. Well, if they can't sleep, that would be understandable. Well, again, that's understandable. They never met a demon that didn't try to kill and eat them. Yeah, he gets it. And they got some good brains. Okay, at least don't hit my mouse with your tail. Okay. Sounds like a good faith to me. Heretics, okay, so yeah, kind of what I thought. It's good enough for us. But there is like some kind of human resistance organization we can join up with, right? That exists somewhere, surely? Please stop moving around. But yes, good questions. Define long time. That is something I mentioned last episode, I think. That it could be a different planet. Okay. At least, you know, Ray also touched on it. Even if it's not true. Okay, that's some good information. Momotaro? Okay. A solution. But... okay. So is there like... okay, so is there like a full-on thriving human society somewhere else then? And we're just not there, unfortunately? Racefield. What a name. 1,000, okay. That's what I meant by a long time. That is a long time. I'm joking. Yeah, this is a lot to take in, but yeah, this is definitely the good kind of lore that I wanted. Okay, yeah, now we just gotta go to the other side then, right? The other world. Because, I mean, that is good news, right, essentially? We just gotta get there, that's the hard part. But I feel like there's probably something that we still need to hear about. Well, we stopped following rules a while ago. If it exists, we can get to it. So there's like a literal bridge we cross that's like heavily guarded on both sides. You know, like the bridge that connects Japan and the continents in the Rance universe. It's kind of what I'm imagining. Okay. So maybe we won't spend too long in the forest. But yeah, thank you for all the info. Assuming you're not lying, that's some good stuff. And I'll assume he's telling the truth. He has no reason to lie, so I'll operate under that assumption. Go over the pursuer. Man, it was some incredible luck to meet these guys. Can we get more scenes with Mujika? Because we got a lot with him. I want an info dump section with her next. Anemonemonemonebidies. So now I was kind of waiting for something to go wrong again. For them to catch up to us somehow. Well, we knew there were other farms. I'm pretty sure we knew that. Aggressive nodding intensifies. It's not going to be easy. This is a huge, complicated problem. I know she's getting all, you know, excited and stuff, but I feel like a lot more is going to go wrong before things get better. Oh! Yeah, why? Okay, it's good we got people that know about this stuff with us right now. 5 days. How many is that in episodes? Yeah, please do. We'll gladly take that. Careful of the fire. Sure, what's on your mind? Yes, oh yes, okay. I mean, I definitely get where she's coming from. But she's right. Like, that did no good for anyone, that incident. Man, she knows how to scold. You are really close right now. That is kind of terrifying. Like, are we sure she's not a demon? Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt there. See what you're doing. You're worrying the kid, at least him. It's certainly a good talk to have. Aww. Yeah, it's a good thing we still have each other. You know, that family support and all that. It really is interesting that this is Earth, because it does make me wonder how some of the, you know, wildlife and plants came to be. A lot can happen in 1,000 years. As expected in Mujika. And I helped. So yeah, it seems like for now we're just kind of chilling together. Eventually we're gonna execute our plan. Because we already planned out the path, right? We just gotta, I guess, get a good night's sleep and everything, and then we'll start on that. Although I guess it seems we're doing more prep work than I thought we would. But that's fine. As long as the enemy doesn't know where we are, which I don't think they do. I mean, they saw the message on the tree, but I don't think that gave away our position or anything. And we are technically moving, so... I'm just not quite sure the pace. I mean, they said 5 days, right? I'll be right back. So, this is the surface. That is a problem. It's okay, it's just a squirrel. Yeah, she's thinking something. Okay. Just keep your hands steady. Yeah, it's not that easy. Is that enough of a... Ooh! Right to the eye. Almost kind of reminds me of the one scene from Full Metal Alchemist. You know, the rabbit knife and all that. Yeah, we got it. Goopuna? Is that like a plant that absorbs blood? Yeah. We've seen that concept before. Right. I mean, how much blood could a plant really drain? I mean, in case of birds, it probably would be fine. There's not a lot of blood in there compared to a human. Yeah. You're doing your best, Emma. I'm sure the first time's the hardest. Yeah, that's what it looks like blossomed. I mean, the worst thing about this is probably just how much you must like feel much more similar to the demons now than ever. Like, I think that's probably gonna be a real mental strain thinking about that. I just got dinner. I don't know if that's true. That look in your eye kind of says a lot. Because, like, obviously our characters, you know, view the demons very negatively, you know, these monsters that kill them and whatnot. But when you actually go out there and hunt for food and stuff like this, that kind of thing makes you realize that you're not that far off from the demons fundamentally. And that kind of realization can definitely weigh on you if it was something you never really thought about too much, but it's kind of every species' job to do the best they can to not get eaten by anything else and then eat other things. That's just life for you. Okay, that was the episode. Well, that was the second episode of the second season of Yakusoku no Neverland. And yeah, I did get some of the information that I wanted this episode. Right? So, because I mean, one of the questions they had was, is this even Earth? Because that can make a pretty big difference, you know, whether or not we can apply the history of Earth as we know it to this place, you know, and this is Earth. However, we don't know quite how different it is. They did bring up, I mean, the biggest piece of information we got was, you know, this is Earth, and the actual human situation, which has been one of the biggest question marks for me was the human situation, like when and how did like a shift happen to this like demon controlled world, you know? How much of a position are humans in, because we knew they were like raised in farms, but some of them were given like special positions over them, right? So I wasn't quite sure how much other like human exclusive positions, jobs like are out there, like are the mothers, grandma, like the only human jobs here, or the other ones that humans are best for. I was kind of curious about a lot of that stuff. But yeah, anyway, this episode told us pretty much that there's, what we've seen so far is just demon society. The demon world is actually a completely other separate side of things, where presumably human society is just like as it's always been, right? You know, people just living their people lives. So that's kind of like our goal now, you know, because I was talking about the human resistance and stuff like that, but it seems like that may not actually be, at least not the end goal. We may find something like that within demon society. That's not impossible, but that's not going to be our end goal. But I mean, as far as goals go, I mean, Emma's goal is still just to save people, right? Like that doesn't change anything, but still, eventually we want to get everyone to the human side. Like end goal, that's what that is. But a lot can happen between then and now, especially because he made it pretty clear that going from demon world to human world is not exactly a typical common thing. So who knows what we're gonna have to go through to even make that happen. I mean, just escaping the farm was a task in itself. So, you know, we got the pursuers to worry about. But yeah, we did find out a little bit about, yeah, their motivations and stuff like that, because they are not really in line with, I guess, the way of thinking of typical demon society, right? So they just kind of like wander themselves, and they rescued us for curiosity, as he said. I mean, there always could be more to it than that, than just wanting a, you know, human to chat with, but for now, that's all we got, so that's all. I won't worry about too much about that. But I mean, we're all alive. We're like being taught stuff from them, you know, about the world, like practical skills. Emma even like pursued very specific training to kill a living thing, because she knows, because she's a smart girl, she knows that, you know, killing things and eating them, food, survival, that all kind of ties together. So it's a good skill to have, and that it's not easy to do, you know, especially for a child, killing something that, you know, has not wronged you in any way. You know, that could be a hard thing to do, you know, until you get used to it. But she did it, and she struggled. She, I think, vomited a little bit, but she did it. That's what matters, and if that, as long as that skill's been obtained, it can come in handy later. Also, we had, what was her name, Hilda, or something like that? I think Gilda. That's what it was. Yeah, she scolded Emma, you know, because, yeah, it's not good to just hold back and not say anything about your condition until you just end up collapsing and causing everyone trouble. That's not great. Let's try not to do that, Emma. We're family. We rely on each other. It's, you know, that kind of conversation was good to have, for sure. We got a good conversation with Senju, something like that. Something like that. We didn't get too much from Mujika, really. Like, she has some lines here and there, but we never really had like a focused conversation the same way we had with him. So I do hope we get that at some point. We're still traveling together. Like, you know, I got a little bit jumbled up during the certain segment, but the gist of it is, yeah, we plotted out our course. We wanted to go like southeast, but for reasons, you know, we go like north and around and stuff like that. You know, I think they're like specifically following the tunnels. And I guess we were just like, you know, stopping and practicing stuff along the way, really. Like, it was really hard to get a sense of distance traveled and time passed and stuff like that because of where we were. But, you know, that was a thing we were doing. So, I think that's all I got to say on the episode. There's still a lot we don't know, but I feel like we got like the biggest burst of information about the world building that we've gotten in a while, really. So that's good to have. And Emma, I think this episode we got the first real glimpse of like Emma like changing. Like, I think over the course of the series, Emma will change a lot. You know, kind of like with the Hoseki no Kuni and, you know, Foss was her name. You know, how she kind of like, she was a certain way, and then, you know, life circumstances, she slowly changed over time. Like, I'm kind of imagining that kind of happened with Emma as well, you know? Because right from the outset in season 1, she was, out of our main trio, she was by far the most, like, optimistic, naive, you know, kind of girl. And I can imagine that really being tested over the course of the events, and her maybe just getting more hardened over time. Like, I'm just kind of curious what kind of changes there'll be to her character, how much she can stay true to her beliefs and whatnot. Especially as we're, like, becoming more demon-like with hunting for her own food and whatnot, and sucking out the blood and all that good stuff, right? So, also curious how much death we will experience. Like, I don't think we've lost too many of our characters since this whole thing began, really. So, I wonder if, like, if we'll start to lose people at some points. Like, I can definitely imagine the group, like, whittling down over time, having to say goodbye to more and more of our family members, and how that could weigh on Emma. So I'm just kind of, like, trying to get out all the various thoughts and stuff I'm having about what's going on. So I think that's important to do. That's what I do in these sections usually. But that's all I got. Good stuff, good episode for sure. Definitely getting me more intrigued about what's to come next, and I look forward to seeing how things go in the next episode. So, till then, bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.